200 Fahrenheit. That's the average brewing temperature of coffee. What we're going to do in this lesson is demonstrate how coffee, when placed in a glass mug, will not burn the hand of the user. We will show the conduction between the liquid coffee into the 6mm walls of the mug and eventually into the handle, and how the handle is a cool enough temperature to be handled to not get burned. With our full-size coffee mug modeled in Fusion 360, we can begin our simulation. I'm going to jump over here to the analysis to show you the section. As you can see, there are two different bodies. There is the mug itself, and there's the coffee. We're going to be doing an analysis of how the coffee conducts heat into the cup and saves your hand by the use of the handle. Let's begin by coming up to Materials, and I'm going to click here on Study Materials. And under Study Materials, you're going to have two options. The reason is because we have two bodies. I'm going to select this first body, which happens to be the mug, and I'm going to scroll down here to glass. That's going to be my material. And for the other body, which happens to be the liquid, the coffee in the cup, we're going to choose water for that one, since coffee is mostly composed of water. I'm going to select it from the drop-down and hit OK. As you can see, we have some color changes. Now everything is clear, and that's just a default setting from Fusion. That being said, the first thing that we want to do with our thermal loads is to create an applied temperature. Within applied temperature, we're going to set this to 200 Fahrenheit, and we're going to hit OK. Now that we've applied that thermal load, let's apply a second thermal load, and this one is going to be convection. So I'm going to come down to convection, and I'm going to select all faces. For this one, I'm going to select all faces of both bodies. So with those selections made, we're going to have convection, and this convection is going to be 10 watts. So for units, we're going to have watts. And for our temperature value, we want to have 20 Celsius, which equates to 68 Fahrenheit, and that's the ambient temperature that we're going to use. And the reason why I've selected 10 watts is because this is the heat transfer coefficient of low speed flow of air over a surface. So I'm going to hit OK. And with that thermal load applied, we want to apply one more thermal load. So I'm going to come over here, come to thermal loads, and I want to select all the faces of the cup this time. So I can do that by selecting the body. And with the body of the mug selected, what I can do is come down to type, and this one's going to be radiation. Now for the emissivity, we're going to input a value of 0.92 because this is how effective this material, the glass, is at emitting energy as thermal radiation. Just like before, we're going to have 20 Celsius for our temperature value, for ambient temperature. So I'm going to hit OK. And with all of these loads applied, let's come to contacts. Now we're going to set automatic contacts for this. As you can see, we have 0.004 of an inch for our solids. Now this is just the tolerance of the contacts themselves. So you can change this value if you want. You can make it say 0.001 of an inch, or you can make it even less. So this computer can definitely handle this calculation. I'm going to put in this very minute value and hope for the best. Now that it has prepared those results for the contacts. What I want to do next is do a pre-check. So the study setup has all the information it needs. That's good. Now I can just come to results, and I'm going to click on results. And here are our results. As you can see, we have a set temperature of 200 Fahrenheit on the liquid. If I hide the coffee liquid by moving from 200 max down on the temperature slider, I could bring this to a threshold of 198 and below. And if I rotate this down, we can see that the bottom of the cup has the second hottest temperatures, and then the walls are about 170. Now, as the heat propagates through the mug, you can see that the outside walls carry a temperature of about 100 degrees, 110 degrees, but this temperature drops off drastically as it gets to the handle. The minimum temperature is actually at the handle, as well as at the lip of the cup when the mug is filled to a set amount, when the liquid is up to this line. Now, 68 Fahrenheit is definitely a great temperature for your handle to be, especially when your liquid is at pretty much the hottest that you'll receive it at, which is around 200 Fahrenheit. So the lesson learned is that it's very hard for heat to propagate through this sort of geometry. The inside of the cup is the hottest, but it's very hard for the heat to make its way through this 6 millimeter thick wall, and it's also very hard for it to make it past this fillet. As you can see, the temperature drops off pretty much immediately after the fillet, and the handle has an almost, I would say, 98% complete temperature, similarity across its whole face. So the handle is not much hotter here and then not hot here, and then it gets a little bit warmer as it gets closer. It's really cold all around. So this sort of geometry is very effective to creating a device that can hold coffee in a smart way as to not hurt the user. Now, with our simulation having been fully run, let's have a little bit of fun. We're going to come over here under our load cases, and under the loads tab, we're going to come down to applied temperature. I'm going to edit my applied temperature, and I want to set it to 212 Fahrenheit. I'm going to hit OK. Now, if you're wondering why I made this 212 Fahrenheit, the reason is because 212 Fahrenheit is the temperature at which water boils, which is the hottest temperature that you would really ever have in a cup. To look at my simulation results, I'm going to come over here to where it says Results, Simulation Results, or you can hit Control R on the keyboard. And we're going to see here that our mug looks a little bit different, just slightly. And what we can also do for fun is we can come to Results, Slice Planes, and I can turn on a slice plane. And that's going to show me the intersection of the cup where the liquid is. And another really fun thing we can do is I can just drag this dial indicator down. And when I do that, it's only going to show me the coolest sections. So you can see that the coolest section is mostly in the handle and right over here where your lips would go, which is exactly what the user needs. The user needs something wherein the places that they're touching with their hands are the coolest parts. So as you can see, the design of the mug is actually a very smart one. A lot of people may not notice that at first. I'm actually going to turn this off. So you can see that it lines the top where the lips would touch, and that's the handle. And as I continue to drag this up, you're going to see the zones that were once cool are now showing the heat zones next to them. And those heat zones are, of course, going to be on the inside, and they're going to be the sections that are the closest to the liquid. And when I go all the way up here to the top, right at 212, that's when the liquid comes in, because the liquid has the applied temperature of 212. Now, the same way that I dragged up in temperature, I could also do the same thing here. I can drag the coolest spots away. And this is a really interesting thing to see, because as I drag, you're going to see the cooler parts drifting away. And there comes a point where you're really only left with just the liquid itself. And you can see that the cooler sections are, of course, always going to be further away from the heat source. They're going to be further away, and they're also going to be, of course, in the handle where it's very hard for the heat to be conducted through this sort of thin piece that's attached to the rest of the design. I hope you enjoyed this simulation tutorial and scientific experiment that we've conducted. For more content just like this, please consider liking and subscribing. Thank you.